Farm simulators are a really interesting genre of games as they usually tackle a couple of challenges and give us the players the potential to turn nothing into something, put our creativity to the test. Let us explore the beautiful scenario of selling a product and not having to pay any taxes. I mean seriously, no wonder the beach and the rest of the island are such a mess after the oil spill when they have no budget from which to finance the cleanup. I know this is a weird segue, but humor me as we will be stepping into the shoes of a farmer who inherits a farm from their grandparents. He will meet the locals, mine for the resources, restore the local environment and the museum, explore the depths of the ocean where the sea people live, and eventually become one of them. I know Disney cannot make a decent live-action remake of The Little Mermaid, so this is the next best thing, I guess. And so join me on this adventure on the Coral Island as I will try to tackle the modern problem of ocean pollution by clearing out the trash despite not really cleaning up my apartment in the past few days. Day 1. I arrived back to my home after a long time and met the mayor along with the carpenters who offered to fix up my place even more. I planted my seeds in a particular way as I know how the basic sprinklers once obtained work. Because a lot of energy was used on clearing out just a small portion of the farm, I went to scavenge the woods and beach for all sorts of goodies, and while doing so, I went to introduce myself to Sam, the local shop owner, who will be my seed seller depending on the specific season. I met up a large number of people and even discovered silver kelp on the beach. I will eventually explain why this is a big deal. Day 2, I went to talk to the carpenters as I gathered the necessary resources to fix up my place, and trust me, this comes from a guy whose bed squeaks when I just roll from side to side, so I know how annoying that can be. It's an old bed frame and not some other reason, but yeah. They gave me an old TV which told me it will rain tomorrow, and also mentioned something about owning a furniture store, so my place does not look like the minimalistic psychopath lives here. I went to buy more seeds and introduce myself to even more of the locals and spend a large portion of the day gathering forageables. Man, I cannot wait until I get the bug net. A whole new source of income will introduce itself. Day 3 is your introduction to the rainy day, which is a great break from watering your crops. This also introduces opportunities once you meet the lovely people running the beach shack to fishing and bug catching. This is then followed by you being introduced to the local curator of the museum, which had to sell its entire inventory to help with the oil spill cleanup that is still negatively affecting the region. Therefore, you are tasked with collecting fish, bugs, relics, fossils, and much more to fill up the empty museum, which can be a great way to receive various rewards. Now, if you ever played Stardew Valley, you know how tricky it can be to fill the museum just with the minerals. This game has a lot more when it comes to donations, and later it's that much more difficult to get a reward when you need to donate 50 items and you keep coming across the same stuff because it's seasonally locked in. Day 4 is when things escalated quickly as the Pufferfish Corporation opens its local branch office and everyone is upset. You can think of them as the Joja Mart of Coral Island, and combining that with the fact that their representative is named Karen, this cannot end well. Despite that, I went and donated more items to the museum, and I was introduced to a Kickstarter campaign, but in order for it to be successful, I will need to donate 50 items. And these are the good times, as when I can even catch a fly, I can still donate it. Later, it's much more difficult, and sure, you might want to keep selling crickets, flies, and all the other creepy crawlies for easy money, but my suggestion is to hold on to those and eventually turn them into fish bait. Might increase those chances to catch some of those peskier fish, which you will need for either donation to the museum or the temple. Day 5. First harvest is usually interrupted not by only the stupid crow eating one of my beets, but also by one of the locals who belongs to the Adventurers Guild. They show up to let you know that the mines are open for business, and this place is going to become important not only for your copper, silver, gold, but much more, as you will be releasing these spirits by clearing out the mine shafts. That will be important later, so of course I spent the day in the mines, and of course I got a rusty sword to use for self-defense. It's like giving you a Swiss Army knife to fix a nuclear reactor. It looks hilarious, but the results can be catastrophic. Now thankfully the critters in the mines are probably as aggressive as I am after eating my 8th plate at all-you-can-eat buffet, and the bigger complaint which I have is the really few items which they tend to drop. And if you will ever pick up the game, make sure to pay attention to the ore veins, as they will usually provide you with more ore than a couple of the ore nodes you will come across. Day 6 I went to the town and Mayor told me about how they are judged based on the museum quality, cleanliness of the ocean, and more statistics, which, since the oil spill happened, ranked their town with F. So unless they will be able to improve the ranking, we might have to give up and give in to the Pufferfish Corporation demands, which would be even worse. So as I was leaving, this stone has caught my attention. I have spent the day doing the usual farming, fishing, bug catching, but I have to mention that you should go crazy and interact with every single trash can you can find. I cannot tell you how many times an item for the temple or museum popped up from one of them, and I was able to get a catfish from trash can. You know, I don't even think I have yet caught a catfish in this game, and if you ever played Stardew Valley, you know how tricky it is to get a catfish for the bundle. 7th day is important, as you will dream about a voice that will tell you to interact with one of the many strange shrines on the island, as this is the start of the temple storyline. Once I woke up and harvested my spuds, I went to celebrate a couple of birthdays, as on this day specifically 2 people have birthday, and look, nobody will admit it, but we guys love to receive flowers, so that's exactly what everyone is gonna be getting from me. After that, I went and summoned the chief, and I have spent the rest of the day at the mines. Here's an important information, or a tip if you will. If you kill the slimes, the slime which they drop, try to hold on to it, and instead of using it for one of the consumables which you can craft, save it up for the temple shrine, as it will take you a while to accumulate 5 slime. You will thank me later, trust me. I also donated my 30th item to the museum, which means only 20 more to go, and we can kickstart the Pickstarter. Day 8. Okay, I had to rewatch this footage to make sure I did not forget anything, as there were simply too many things that happened. First, I received 2 letters, one from Big Chief and other from the local scientist about diving. I went and spoke to the chief, who performed a ritual granting me the ability to interact with the ancient letters and to be able to interact with the altar where the goddess resides. I got my pickaxe to be upgraded and I interacted with the temple. There I learned that I will need to donate items to her to heal her and the island, and for completing the bundle she granted me the power to use the portals. Unfortunately, until now when I played the game in early access, I was only able to travel from my farm to various places, and it seems I will not be able to use the portals to travel to the farm itself, but I will manage somehow. Even bigger problem was when I went and talked to the scientists at the pier, as before the 1.1 version, you were not really able to access all the regions of the ocean, and you even had to donate items to these turtles and other creatures to unlock more shrines to heal the ocean bottom. I really hope that this is not gonna be a problem, otherwise these 100-something days are not gonna be as fun. On the 9th day, I had a visitor from the lab who came and told me about how kelp can be used to upgrade the overall quality of my seeds, and that I need 10 kelp and 1 glass to make 1 essence. Of course, I will therefore need to do a lot of diving, but my mailbox had also invitation for the Blossom Festival with the potluck, where I can give everyone either food poisoning or make people really like me for donating good quality produce. Think of it like Stardew Valley Summer Luau, just without Mayor Lewis's purple shorts thrown in there for that extra umami. I had to Google the ridiculous amount of items to donate, and apparently the silver potato I have will do just fine. I went to pick up my upgraded pickaxe, and Chief told me that in the mines how I need to liberate the other giants by exploring the mines themselves and reach level 40. I managed to find a lot of copper and this gold encrusted hammer, which triples the damage of my sword, and I also managed to finish the quest for the Adventurers Guild by slaying these critters. Day 10. Cherry Blossom Festival. As I knew this day is not going to be really profitable for me, I wanted to focus on one thing, and this is advice to all of you as well, as if you pick up this game, interact with everyone you will see at the festival. This is a great way to help increase your overall friendship without even having to donate or give gifts. I donated the potato to the soup and raised in the burlap sack, and to my shock ended up on the second place. Best result for me yet. The soup was a great success, and hopefully so will be this video. Day 11, I had few things to do, so I started it by upgrading my axe, as I really want to get rid of that one stomp by my crops. I then went and talked to Sam, who runs the shop, and he told me that the imported goods are expensive and local groceries are what people want, and so he requested that I ship a lot of bronze vegetables and fruits. In the town hall, I was told about this brand new feature to the game, where apparently for completing quests and participating in the festivals, I get these merit badges which unlock rewards. Interesting way to make people involved and more motivated to participate in the communal events. Rest of the day I have spent at the bottom of the ocean, clearing it out, as it looked more like a underwater dump rather than if an oil spill happened here. Day 12 was another dual birthday, so you know that the fellas had to get flowers, but that was the highlight of the day. My primary focus was finishing another bundle at the temple, for which I got 8 seeds of sugarcane, which can be harvested multiple times after reaching maturity. I donated 48th item to the museum and went diving to the ocean, as I did one of the scariest things, unlocking one of the cleansing shrines just as I was getting kicked out at around 11 PM. Seriously, I did not know if this can cause problems, but hopefully I'll be able to continue my adventure. Day 13, few new things with the 1.0 version apparently, as I became a member of some farmer guild that gave me a free sprinkler inside of the mailbox. Don't ask how they managed to squeeze it inside, and don't ask how much I was cursing while pulling it out. On top of it, the achievements seem to be working as well, and so I got one for harvesting 100 crops. I donated my 50th item to the museum, which meant as a reward another sprinkler. But the biggest change I noticed on how you do not buy a better bug net or a fishing rod. Nope. You got to bring money and kelp essence, and that is going to make the whole process more complicated, but I have seen what a better bug net can do, and I swear to God that stupid tiger beetle is driving me nuts. Day 14 was day of improvisation. Unfortunately, as I found out that the next day it's going to rain, my plan to upgrade the watering can went out of the window when I realized that the blacksmith brothers don't work on Sundays. So instead I spent the money on backpack upgrade. I then went to see Dr. Lang, who explained that I should continue with my work to cleanse the ocean. I delivered a quest for spring crop and spent the rest of the day in the mines, as I need to make it to level 40 to liberate the first giant and unlock access to the water mines, which provide access to silver ore. Day 15, coconut season is here. Yeah, Stardew Valley has salmon berries and Coral Island has coconut season during spring, summer, fall and winter. And these coconuts have helped me a lot today because it was raining. I was able to put in the upgrade for the watering can, and then I wanted to find out how much money I can make just by fishing alone, as I never truly experimented with this before. One thing which must have changed in the later patches is that the time now stops while you fish, so theoretically you can catch quite a lot of fish, but my recommendation is to get the better fishing rod because the basic one is a total pain in the ass. Oh, and I cannot forget that we have launched the Kickstarter campaign for the museum. Day 16, so this day was full of surprises, mostly thanks to some of the cutscenes I came across. I started with mail from Scott about Kickstarter being really great success, so the museum is going to be even bigger. I went to the mines to liberate Grog, the giant of the earth, which I followed by visiting the blacksmith to pick up my watering can. Here's where the day started to get weird. First, it was interaction between Mayor and Sam about some scarecrows, followed by me running into the owner of the fishing shop who went to pick up Oliver and he called him Dad. Really? I thought he's like his grandpa. Damn, good for him, I guess. Day 17, Dr. Ling had birthday, and because it was raining, I did not have to water my crops. I went to the mines instead and cleared out the first 5 floors of the water or silver mines, and I went diving, but because I did not bring enough supplies, I was not able to clear out much of the mess. Seriously, this does not look like an oil spill happened here, but someone is just using this place as a local waste dump. Day 18 is a great day as I screwed up only one thing, so I'm proud of myself. Mark had birthday, so he will get a shiitake. I started to work on upgrading my site as it will be tremendously helpful with clearing out the ocean. I then put the 5 bronze kelp essence towards upgrading my crop seeds, which can increase the quality of your crops without the need to use the fertilizer. Now the screw up. I went to the mines and was at level 9 when I ran out of supplies and the energy, so I could not make it deeper, and therefore I will need to do this again. The evening I spent by fishing for some octopus and jellyfish, which were all donated to the museum. The screw up in the mines is because you can theoretically access your inventory, and so I should have been able to craft some more supplies and reach level 10. Day 19, I wanted to make up for the screw up in the mines, and I almost came across the same problem, but lucky for me I was able to reach level 10. During this time I noticed it's much easier to come across silver ore nodes compared to the copper. And this is a huge problem because copper ore is needed for crafting, and I had my sights set on Coop and Barn as they are not only needed for the temple donations, but also because you might need animal products for events in the ocean and in fall when there is a festival where you showcase a display with your animal products. So yeah. Anyhow, I picked up the scythe and went to the bottom of the ocean to clear out more debris, and with the upgraded scythe, it was so much easier. At the end of the day, I got my second achievement for making 20,000, and also the town rank has gone up, so I can get more crops and animals. Day 20. Yes, proof that I can use Wiki only partially, as apparently I am able to read that Walter loves carrots, but when I was reading what resources I need for the coop, I somehow ignored that on Saturday the carpenter shop is closed. And with the 21st having another festival, that would mean I would need to wait until the 22nd day to put in the request for the coop, if I will have the money for it. Day 21, the Tree Planting Festival. Festival days can be a problem for a farmer if he does not have alternative means of making money, as most of your day will be spent during said event. And this is a really special event because you will not see the outcome until the next year, which I never got to, so maybe if I will make the other year video in this game, who knows? Anyhow, I was fortunate to get the harvest of cauliflower, some of which I went to preserve. I bought seeds at the event and once again interacted with everyone. The event consists of 3 stages. clearing a place, tiling the soil, and planting the seeds. Here, if you do not have upgraded tools, you can spend a lot of time and energy, so make sure to bring some snacks. Day 22 kept me busy as I knew I'm getting the coop, so that meant I will be spending a lot of cash. Cash that I need to start saving for the upcoming summer season, as when you get enough blueberries and preserve jars, you can make some real damage. But I went to the mines to get some copper and came across a coal and geodes, but as I want to get the barn next, I need another 5 copper bars. So after I made the coop purchase, I went and spent rest of my cash at the blacksmith and donated my 70th item to the museum. Oh, I got a mail about me reaching 4 times the goal, so the new museum is going to be even more massive than they planned. I gave birthday gifts to 2 people and spent the evening diving as I liberated my first turtle. Day 23, I continued to work on my farm as it will take few days for the coop to be ready, and I need to make some cash as if I want 2 chickens and 2 dogs, that will cost me pretty penny. I spend most of the day in the mines, but I have to admit I might need the silver pickaxe to make this progress less painful, but I don't think I can do that because I still need copper hoe, copper fishing rod, and bug net. And considering that the gator gar is a legendary almost fish to be caught only during spring for one of the bundles during rainy day and without better fishing rod, yeah, there's a lot of expenditures in my future. Day 24, coop is done and so is my bank account. I really need to plan out my finances better, but who can resist the dogs and chickens? So I'm now a proud owner of my first animals. Now to just save up enough for the barn and all the other things. I had to plan out the rest of the day, so I stopped by the hot springs where time goes by super slowly, which is nice, and I spent the rest of the day in the ocean doing more cleanup. Day 25 is Macy's birthday, and this is special because I'm trying to celebrate everyone's birthday. But for me it was a start of the change of pace, as now the day started with me petting my chickens and ducks, for which I got first eggs, and now I will be able to make mayonnaise from the mayo machine, which the Farmers Guild sent me God knows how long ago. Also, it is the time for the name of the channel to shine, as I was looking into the guides on how to catch that stupid tiger beetle, and I discovered that I can actually sneak up to the bugs while holding the net. Oh yeah, and on top of it, I realized after a week of having a beehive by fully grown flowers that I actually need to harvest the flowers and insert them into the beehive for me to get honey. Yeah, I'm starting to think I might need like a special place to park. Day 26 was when my luck was all over the place. I mean, it started off great with me finding a large duck egg, a normal duck egg, and a regular chicken egg, all at the same time inside of the coop, which meant I only need 1 large chicken egg, and that's another bundle done. The luck left the chat room afterwards as I went to get my barn, and well, maybe it's not related to luck, but I was not able to build the barn. First of all, I did not have enough wood, but that is not necessary. So after demolishing every tree by the carpenters, I got the barn, and at night I finally got him. Tiger beetle was captured in one of the insect traps. So I guess it was a lucky day. Day 27 left me a little uneasy due to how it ended up, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So I started the day with tending to the farm and animals. I went to the mines for a little copper, followed by giving blacksmith the hoe upgrade request. Now on the 28th, the shop is closed, so I will need the hoe on the 1st of summer. I gave to one of the blacksmith brothers a birthday gift, and I ended the day at the bottom of the ocean, where at super late time I placed the core into one of the cleansing shrines. So now I do not know if I will need to find the core again on the next day or just finish the job. but I really hope it won't get all buggy on me and I will have to start all over again and write this amazing script from the start once more. Day 28, last day of spring, I was a little mad that the TV show about the tips started to tell me about how and where and when to catch the garfish from like the 26th of spring only. Really improves those chances for new players to catch the fish, but then again I cannot compare 1000 hours in Stardew Valley to 40 hours in Coral Island or 60 or how many, I honestly lost track. Anyhow, since it was the last day, I wanted to do something special. So I went to get another upgrade for another type of crop with bronze kelp. I bought my first cow as these moo-moos cost 2,500, so my initial plan to get 2 would bankrupt me. I went to the ocean and thankfully the altar was waiting for me to clear out its path, and I spent the rest of the day as I managed to clear out the last few altars, allowing me to get access to the deeper water where silver kelp should be waiting. Day 29, summer, aka the season when you can start making some real money. But first I needed to attend to the opening of a new museum. I guess the Hall of Founders is like people who crowdfunded the game in real life? Not sure, not important. What is, however, is that I received a brush that now unlocks possibility to find fossils, so that will be fun. I spent most of my money and time rearranging the sprinklers and scarecrows for the new crops and made back almost all of my money from preserving veggies and making mayo and honey. Day 30, I made a decision that might end up backfiring as I bought a second cow, which meant I did not have the funds to get more done or buy seed. So I planted the mixed seeds, and I usually have big problems with these, and as they can grow up to be just about anything like corn or something, and that can mean that your field can look quite messy. Because it was raining, I decided to go to the ocean, and here is where I came across the merfolk. And I had the spit sitting at the back of my throat, as when I was playing the game before the 1.0 release, I came across location from which I was not able to get into further depth, and I was only able to get a limited amount of silver kelp, and that quantity was heavily limited. And so I hope this won't be the case, and I should be allowed to dive in all the depths, but I guess we will find out soon enough. Day 31, the day when I felt true pain. So I decided to put in the upgrade for the bug net, and immediately after leaving the beach shack, I saw 2 new species, one for butterfly and one for some worm, and of course I could not catch them. I then started to contemplate if I was stupid or blind before the 1.0 release, as I saw the retreating routes which allowed me to get to a new section of the ocean, which maybe I just missed before, not sure. But by doing this, I was able to get more kelp and then craft 6 sprinklers, and so now all of my crops are watered and I don't need to do it manually. I still need to visit the lab and work on upgrading the quality of my crops, and maybe while being there I should consider discussing getting a LASIK or maybe cleaning up my glasses. Day 32, Dr. Link woke me up as she was all hopped up on Red Bull mixed with coffee, as she put together a new diving suit that was supposed to allow me to talk to the merfolk. I started to feel the lack of the bug net honestly at this point, as after I put in the upgrade for bronze quality tree fruit, I barely had enough for seeds and fossil excavation. I wanted to test out this new diving apparatus, yet when I came across one of the turtles, I was not able to understand them. Maybe I need to head towards the merfolk village or something, who knows. On day 33, I had a hectic schedule, so the mayor will have to forgive me for not celebrating his birthday. I started my day in the ocean as I wanted 2 silver kelp essence to make the dehydrator. This device can take the mussels from the bottom of the ocean and turn them into artisan product, 10 at a time, and since the quality of the mussel is transferred into the artisan product, you can make nice money. Also, you need it for the altar and the bundles. I then went to pick up my bug net and put in the fishing rod for an upgrade. I then had to run around the map catching bugs, as I made over 1 grand just from that alone. but I will need to be careful as I almost forgot about my animals and I need to remember these birthdays. Day 34, I started to make some sense of my inventory thanks to unlocking the wooden chest blueprint, and I started to relocate the tools to the coop and barn. I relocated the flowers to the hives and just better organize the entire farm overall. I will still need to buy more sunflower seeds for the bundle, however. Day 35, I got a little mad, as first it was one of the giants after I arrived to their village who wanted to let me in, but apparently he needed to perform some top secret tic-tac dance and I could not watch him, so I had to walk away. When I was finally let inside of the village, I was introduced to the enchantment table and I still have zero idea how it works, but apparently by combining rare gems, fossils and artifacts, you can create the various enchantment levels and implement them on your tools, and once you upgrade the tools, you can have multiple enchantments. If I will not forget, I will try to leave the link to the wiki in the video's description, but don't blame me if I do so, or remind me in the comment section. But then the real reason I got mad was because I was being stingy with my energy meals and I took only one Jamu to the mines, and on floor 16 made me clear out like 90% of all the rocks before discovering way down, and so I had to exit on floor 19. Day 36, I started to be a little disappointed with myself as Sam had his birthday and I wanted to buy more seeds, and of course he loves blueberries, which I had zero chance to give him at this point. So it would mean a flower, but despite stopping at his place, I did not have flour on me, and eventually I got so busy with the planting, watering, and going to the ocean to pick up more silver kelp for sprinklers, he just became another person who I did not manage to celebrate his birthday with. Also, the game was annoying me with the fact that the NPCs had been requesting commissions for crops which I had zero chance of acquiring, like starfruit. If the game knows it takes 13 days and it's the 8th of summer, come on! Day 37, I started to switch my production from sriracha to pickling bell peppers, but I was still waiting for the big ticket item, blueberries, melons, and starfruit. Because I spent my cash on the seeds, however, after finding out that next day it will rain, I knew I would not have the cash to upgrade the watering. So I went to the mines, I finally reached floor 20, and when I went to the copper mines, I saw something I have never experienced before. Super rich deposits of copper, like a copper vein and the copper nodes on first floor, and later even 2 copper veins on one floor. I also realized that for God knows how long, the beach shack had my fishing rod. I should go pick it up. Oh, and I donated the 110th item by that day. Day 38. Well, it rained, and since it did, I realized I do not have my fishing rod still, so I went to pick it up and put it to good use, and it was so much easier to catch fish with the upgraded rod and some bait. That day I caught ridiculous amount of fish, and I made 1,800 coral bucks from that, which is actually funny because I made the same exact amount just from few preserves, mayonnaise, and a couple of other farm products. Now I can theoretically upgrade another tool or buy me a sheep. Day 39 was a great day because I managed to do a lot and somehow make money too. So I had my first blueberry harvest, so I expanded my pickling production by 3 preserve jars. I donated and finished the summer crop bundle at the altar. I donated fish, bugs, etc. to the museum, getting 219 items. Just one more and next reward is mine. Then I went to the mines where, thanks to the 2nd tier bomb, I finished the silver mines and freeing the water giant. Now I really need to upgrade the pickaxe and the scythe so that I can work in mines and in the ocean more efficiently. Day 40, Pet Festival Day, is a tricky one as you need to set up 3 different types of animals to be eligible to participate in the activities. This means you need a coop animal, a barn animal, and a pet. I unfortunately still do not have the pet, but I was able to register my chicken for cockfighting. I guess here it's not illegal. I had my cow race against others, and I could not stop laughing as one of the cows was named Dude. The one event I was therefore not participating in this race was with your pet, but on the bull riding I lasted 160 seconds, for which I got first place. This is a good way to make the community tokens and get a lot of reputation with everyone, as after the event I got like 2 recipes at least in my mailbox. Day 41 I had a visitor at the farm as one of the dogs has disappeared, so I guess it got all excited from the previous festival. I will look for him, but I celebrated the 2 lovely ladies' birthday first, and I think Coral Island should fix this as I got the recipes in my mailbox on the same day. I delivered an errand and put the watering can for upgrade, as next day it should rain. Day 42, starfruit was harvested and eventually turned into something great, but I intentionally kept the best pieces because I will need them for the fall festival display case. Speaking of good quality products, I came across a lot of them at the bottom of the ocean, which made me really consider getting the last upgrade for the backpack, which cost 12,000. Day 43, I spent a lot of money, which made me not go through with the adoption of the dog I wanted. Well, I was deciding between 2, but because I upgraded my pickaxe and also put in the upgrades for seeds and purchased a lot of them while getting a cutscene about fluffy bread, which I can now bake, I decided maybe later. I also found late at night another puppy by the mines. Well, Mark did. Day 44 was Taco Tuesday. I cannot believe it worked out like this, but I continued the story of the missing dog and we eventually found the knucklehead on the beach. I also made sure to celebrate the 2 birthdays. Went to check progress on my tool and seed upgrade, and I need more days, so I went to buy seeds at Sam, where I was eyeing the backpack upgrade, which would come in handy at the ocean, where I was gathering a lot of things for the dryer. Day 45, I went to pick up the pickaxe and I went to put in the scythe to be upgraded, because I knew I would not be able to go into the ocean, and I was contemplating the mines, but the thought of the ocean stayed in my head, and so I wanted to challenge myself and see if I can get the yellow moray eel, and this was one challenge, I tell you. Unfortunately, Wiki only tells you that it's on the beach, and so I tried random spots until finally at 6 or around 7 PM I caught the first one, and later I caught the second one. One thing which made me mad was that I could not for the love of it catch a silver quality sardine. I made a killing that day from fishing and leveled up my farming and fishing and ranching so I can start making cheese build and even kegs, and make that fish bait using the bugs I'm hoarding. Oh, yeah, and another achievement for making 100k. Day 46, I knew I still had to wait for another day to pick up my next tool, so I decided to spend the time by mining, as I acquired new copper and silver bars for cheese press, and also I cleared out the first 5 floors in the gold mines. Day 47 was a proof that diversifying my portfolio was a great choice, as I made over 5 grand that day alone from all the artisanal items. Seriously, who is willing to pay so much for a bottle of juice? Anyhow, because I was busy restocking and refilling all these fancy things, I barely did something else, but I did get a black opal out of the geodes, which was donated to the altar, and I went to the mines and cleared out another 5 floors. Day 48, I was all over the place because I wanted to do something, but I did not have a real goal for that day, which meant I was running around like a headless chicken. I went to the blacksmith to crack open the geodes, and again, while the 2 brothers were not there, I got another rare gem, a diamond, so that was donated. I went to the blacksmith second time, but it was too late because I had to wait for the silver to smelt. I also knew I needed 10 copper bars for a house upgrade, so I had to fetch copper. I got the backpack upgrade, so I'm broke again, and I went to the ocean to finish the day off. On day 49, all I wanted to do is get my house upgraded, but I walked in on some conversation and somehow ended up fixing the TV at the carpenter's home. I gave Dinda a melon and purchased the upgrade. I later walked in on another conversation, and when I wanted to deliver an egg as requested, I walked in on another conversation. I should buy one of those cowbells on my neck or something. I finished the day in the ocean clearing out a lot of debris. Day 50, I realized I stopped completely shipping basic crops, and now most of my money is coming from preserve jars and mayonnaise. But that allowed me to afford an upgrade for the axe. I was also able to visit the mines and clear out another 5 floors, and even venture into the ocean since it was lightning storm, and get few things I will need: the silver kelp essence for seeds, fishing rod, and bug net. And since you made it to the halfway point of the video, it's time for a word from our sponsor. Do you wish you can stream great content despite watching my videos? Is it difficult for you to access Netflix where you live and watch that new Taylor Swift concert? Do you wish you can access content and you are simply not able to? Well, do not fear, Max is here. And with the sponsor of today's video, SouthVPN, we got your problems covered, and they're only gonna get worse. What does this VPN do that the others can't? Well, let me tell you. First, we will slow down your internet speed to a half because we will be piggybacking on your old laptop on which you are probably using or watching this video to mine Bitcoin. Cannot access any websites? That is a problem of yesterday, since the only server we have is either China or North Korea, which means you will neither be able to access anything or only watch that one movie of Kim Jong-il riding a horse in slow motion. Cannot understand the websites? We don't care! Do you want to access those spicy websites but are ashamed of it, and you do not want anyone to know about it? SouthVPN has got you covered, and we will step up even further, as once you watch anything on the hub, we will send an email directly to your mom with the link of what you just watched. And how much do you need to pay us for all these amazing benefits, as we will be frequently reloading the application, especially while you play those PvP games, so you keep getting disconnected and reported, so you have an excuse for those terrible gaming skills? Nothing! All you need to do is respond to the email from the Nigerian prince who still has not received your money. Just look through your spam folder, and I'm sure you will find us there. SouthVPN. We make everything worse. Day 51, as it was raining again, I was able to go into the mines and clear out another 5 floors of the gold mines, but I still wanted to go see Sam at his store as it was Tuesday and my last chance to buy and plant seeds. There I came across this strange argument about some amaranth flour. Seriously, what is wrong with regular wheat flour? Nobody even knows what gluten is. I'm telling you, it's a myth. Man, googling this stuff does not make me hungry. It looks like flour gone bad. It's all brown, but I guess if you want to make a gluten-free pie and show someone you don't love them, go bananas. Like I did back at the mines where I gathered silver and copper. Day 52, I had to plan around Leah and Anne's birthday. Thankfully, Anne just needed a sunflower, but for Leah, I needed a smoothie. So I was fortunate that the house got finally upgraded, and I spent like 20 grand at the appliance store buying up almost every cooking utensil. So I made the smoothie for her, and well, later I went to the ocean. Speaking of getting gifts to someone, I'm a terrible person to shop for, but your subscription would cheer me up. What? Too cringe? Day 53, I wanted to drop off the starfruit, but I accidentally came across a conversation where Paul forgot Anne's birthday. I stopped by at the furniture store, and I loved the wooden cabin design for the interior. I was even looking at the exterior decoration, but honestly, it would take up too much space, and I was thinking, just how will I get 1,000 units of one crop shipped? That will need a lot of sprinklers and seeds. And I continued the day at the bottom of the ocean, clearing out a lot of debris, and I have to say, I'm struggling to find fossils. On day 54, I was getting a little nervous as I knew that the next day is Beach Cleanup Festival, so I'm losing that day, and the fear was because time was running out for me to get Silver Star Koi or Sardine for the bundles. Some of the fish which I missed, it's okay because they appear only like in spring or winter or something crazy like that, but a single season fish like gator gar or when it just rains is a lot of pain to get. Day 55, I helped to clean the beach, and I also cleaned my bank account as I bought 15 golden kelp for those fancy tier 2 sprinklers. You know, the fun thing about these events is that they take place in locations where bugs are meant to randomly spawn in, and you can always see them around frozen and not able to move. I got 3rd place in the swimming, which sucks because the reward for 1st place is 5 gold kelp. I won the tug of war and interacted with anyone to improve my relationships. Because I spent all that money, I was thinking about what to ship to make cash, and by shipping some milk, I got another achievement. Day 56, last summer day, and it was raining. I guess the skies were crying over the fact that for the life of it, I could not catch koi and sardine in silver quality. Don't get me wrong, I caught few of them, but I have zero idea what determines the quality of the fish that you catch. Is it boosted from the food, or is it the bait? Is it the fishing rod? At least in Stardew Valley, if you keep the fish in green bar, you increase the quality, but here it's like RNG Jesus. But at least I caught few new species and donated them to the museum, which got me to over 140 donated items. I wanted to cheese that day and get the potion to level up my fishing skill and increase the selling price, but I would need 500 points, and unfortunately the commission on the summer season were not good, and a lot of time requested items I could not grow at that time. But oh well, I cannot finish those 2 fish bundles, but I will be able to finish the fall crop bundle for sure. Day 57 started by some jackass showing up at my farm and making fun of my withered crops as he kept referring to some festival, but I got distracted by Yuri showing up as well. Later I went to Sam's and I realized that there are not that many types of crops available. I guess I will really need to improve the town rank and all that to gain few more crops and farm animals? Really? But I spent 24 grand on seeds and fertilizer, and I really need a discount. Day 58, I went to fulfill Paul's request and chop down log behind his house, and while I was there, I decided to hit the big boulder, and to my surprise, it broke, and I got some gold from it. I was able to walk up to like this lookout place, but I was not sure if I can do anything there. I did not want to buy seeds from Sam, but I did donated my 150th item to the museum. I spent the rest of the day at the bottom of the ocean, getting close to Murphle village. Oh yeah, and I enchanted my pickaxe. Day 59 is the second day someone is telling me to meet them at the pier at 6 p.m, but I'm usually so busy with the work I do, I tend to miss out on the opportunity. On this day, I went to put in the upgrade for my pickaxe to reach gold quality, and then at the bottom of the ocean, I managed to cleanse 3 shrines, and I was trying to fix the 4th one, which probably will unlock entry to the Murphle Kingdom. Oh, and the town has reached rank D, so now I should be able to buy goats, quail, and maybe even new seeds. Day 60, I went a little crazy with the farming as I eventually expanded by a lot, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So what I had to focus on was 1 delivery of sunflower, and I wanted to upgrade next tool, but the pickaxe was not done, so I cracked open all the coffers from the ocean. Here's where I screwed up, as I did not bring the bouquet of flowers to Raphael, and later he locked up the shop, so I was not able to give him the gift. Eleanor was the most convenient person to celebrate birthday with, as I caught a bug beside her and gifted it to her as she really liked it. I found out that the mysterious letter was from Suki, as she wanted to hang out at the beach. I swear I'm too nice in this game, because if I would get an email like this at work with no signature or nothing, it's automatic spam folder. Day 61. I ran into a problem with my hardwood. Maybe I should rephrase that. I realized after picking up my gold pickaxe that I do not have hardwood, which I need to further upgrade my tools and also for the barn and coop upgrades. This will create quite the setback as even the carpenter shop does not sell it yet. So I'll need to figure out how to improve my axe, which is why I was destroying the crates in the mines, hoping to get some along the way while liberating the wind giant. I even took a look in the final region and came across some osmium. Day 62 I honestly had to do twice. Now normally I would not do this when I went to the kingdom of the merfolk. I was given access to these caves that are meant to give you access to all sorts of resources, but they are buggy, and when I left the ocean, the floors from the cave were somehow layered over the map and I was not able to reach the farm, so I'll most likely avoid these locations. But I did go through it again as I harvested my cranberries and I obtained even the osmium large egg. I gifted Cam, not sure how to pronounce her name, and also Jim got his birthday gift. I then went to the ocean to clear out the last shrine and gain access to the merfolk city, spoke to the king, and thanks to Princess got access to even deeper ocean. Day 63 I reached 2 milestones as I was trying to get by some luck hardwood. I went to the mines and went down a few floors getting my hands on the osmium and clearing out 20 enemy types. I spent the whole day in the mines hoping to get some rare items but no gems unfortunately, but I did earn 250k at the end of that day. Day 64, the struggle for hardwood continues as I went to the carpenter shop hoping they will start selling it, as from the general idea I got, even your own farm will not provide you with as much hardwood as you will need, and on your farm you need gold star quality axe. However, in the woods you need silver star quality axe, that is enough. So I went to have my fishing rod upgraded as I was hoping to try and catch the legendary big bass, and when I went to the deep ocean, the princess gifted me the stamina fruit, which permanently increases my stamina bar. Day 65, I realized that because I had to restart that one day, I lost a monarch caterpillar, so one of the bundles was still not complete, and so I had to donate 3 gold essence to finish different bundle, as finishing them can unlock apparently some regions, and I needed 2 hardwood for the X upgrade. Then the reason why I'm so annoying about this is that I need the resource to upgrade barn and coop so I can get the goats and quails which are needed for the other bundles. But hopefully I will finish last upgrade for seeds of the silver quality at the lab and start moving onto the gold quality. Day 66 was a good day as I went to pick up my fishing rod and I wanted to take a crack at that big bass. Before that, I donated few items to the temple and finished the bundle and got oil press as a reward. Problem is, I do not have any almonds, olives or truffles, so the only thing I was able to use was some canola I had left over from spring season. For some reason, sunflower cannot be turned into oil. I don't get it. Anyhow, as I tried to fish for the big green legend, I stumbled upon a brand new unlocked region with a ghost, but the important thing was it had those logs, so now I have the hardwood. But the best thing was finally putting in so many things into the drop-off chest. I would have to hold on to more items until the next day, as for the first time I was able to fill in all the slots. Day 67 was a day of big upgrades, as I had to however approach this strategically, so I decided to do the following. I went to the beach shack to get my bug net upgraded and immediately I missed not having it, but I bought the coconut drink which Theo loves, and since it was his birthday, that's another gift. I followed this by visiting the blacksmith where I had my eggs upgraded. Overall, not having those 2 tools made me feel weird, so I tried to fill in the time and catch fish and go diving. Day 68 was another productive day as I had a massive harvest of crops, which is always nice, and this I managed to follow by putting in the request for a shed so I can start moving the preserve jars inside so they do not occupy so much space. I donated my 175th item to the museum and even found monarch caterpillar in one of the traps, so I was able to finish that bundle and went to the ocean to clear out more junk. Day 69 was another awesome day as I went to pick up my upgraded tools and immediately I started to put them to good use. Well, at least the net. I did not bother chopping down trees as I had big harvest again, and I even collected my gold star fruit wine for the upcoming festival. I should have everything, I just do not have an osmium ore. Speaking of which, at night there was a tremor and during the day I found osmium asteroid on my farm. I went to the ocean to finish the day gathering bronze and silver kelp for sprinklers. Day 70 was a little chaotic because I made it so, as I had to do a lot of things. The biggest project was relocating the preserve jars and kegs inside of the shed, which surprised me on how massive the interior is. I'm just afraid that I will not limit the amount of preserves I will collect during a day, as out of sight, out of mind, and preserve jars can pump out serious profit if you cram in the right stuff. I finished the full session and gifted Bree with jackfruit, which coincidentally I had along with massive harvest of pumpkins, one of which I gifted to Bree as well. Anyhow, the day was chaotic and I wanted to get the upgrade for the seeds going with the gold kelp essence, but I did not manage to get it so, and instead I donated my 180th item to the museum. At the end of the day, I got another achievement for shipping 30 types of crops. Day 71. Ah, you can smell it. The smell of salty tears in the air. But I'm getting ahead of myself, as I had a bunch of chores at the farm which I followed by additional expedition inside of osmium mines where I came across a brand new enemy, like some orc or ogre. I picked up even a better weapon than the one purchased at the guild and eventually made my way to town square as Bobby was standing there, but apparently that is not where the event takes its place. Typical. So I went and smashed some pumpkins, bobbing for some apples, and won an apple sapling, which when I read the description almost gave me a heart attack, as it needs like a whole fall season to grow. I bought a bunch of pear and cocoa saplings along with fairy rose, and I won the display case against Bobby. All he brought were quail eggs and he received minimal bonus for that, but because I brought osmium melon, cauliflower, blue dahlia along with gold star wine and milk and osmium large egg, I won. I also reached an achievement by reaching 5 hearts with someone, as I had to tell at festival everyone how I am vegan. Day 72 was made awkward by two things. First, I started to have some issues entering the shed. I don't know, maybe it was the full backpack of crops I had to harvest, but the main thing which made the day weird was when I wanted to give Luke his birthday gift and his father showed up asking for a job and complaining about dust. I don't know if I would be okay working with my dad. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you would be okay working with your parents running a business. Day 73 was a busy day as I started to experiment with the second tier sprinklers and I planted lots of crops, or at least the ones I had seeds for. I also managed to finally put in the request for the barn upgrade, and I had my hoe, I believe, also upgraded. I was considering scythe, but I needed a lot of golden kelp for seed upgrades and the essence creation. Fun thing is how I stumbled upon a brand new location or area in the woods with the ghost, as by walking up the stairs I was approaching this abandoned camp of sorts. I spent the evening at the bottom of the ocean where I found my green urchin that I need for another bundle, and I shipped one crop 1,000 times that day. Day 74, I started to look into some of the crops like sweet potatoes, pumpkins, and more of them if they can be turned into artisanal items, and so and behold, they can be turned into juice. This meant that I would need to dramatically increase the amount of kegs inside of the shed, and that meant I needed copper and silver bars. So after I put in the upgrade for another seed with gold essence, I kept venturing into the mines, as it was again really difficult to find enough copper, as after some time I spent there I had 40 copper ore, which is not great considering that keg requires 2 bars alone. I have unfortunately still not seen the Atlas moth as well. Day 75 was experimental day for me, as I had to find out if the wiki is just not updated, because today Randy and, according to Wiki, Lily have both birthday. It eventually turned out, after one strange family cutscene about almond milk and waiting for Lily to exit her room, that nope, it was just Randy's birthday, which I almost did not celebrate, as the coffee I had for him I drank right in front of him, and so I had to fetch a second one. One thing which was bugging me, however, was that I had the quest from the giants for clothes for quite a while, and I wanted to finish it, but when I investigated this, and this was actually updated on the wiki, I found out that I will have to wait until the winter season to be able to do so. Day 76 was really not great because on Saturday most of the shops are closed. So when I saw my barn being done with the upgrade, I could not buy goats at the ranch. I could not go to the carpenter shop to get coop upgraded, or go to the lab to get another upgrade for the crops. So I went into the mines where I liberated the final giant, and he mentioned another giant was responsible for all of them turning into stone. Or maybe it was one of the already liberated giants. They have really weird names, and since they are not Pokemon, I cannot tell them apart. But one cool thing that happened was me acquiring this rare opal ring, which after I equipped it allowed me to get a ridiculous amount of fossils. I mean, I left the mines with like 13 of them at least. Day 77 was really productive, as I got my second pumpkin harvest, and this I have followed by purchasing my 2 goats and getting the upgrade for the coop. I then broke a whole lot of fossils at the lab and put in the upgrade for the seeds. I was very pleased when I found the Atlas moth inside of the flying trap, which I set up in the woods. I ran into Archie, who has collected rocks, and he decided to bring home the one that looks like a butt. This kid is going places. I'm telling you right now, the new mayor of Coral Town is here. Because I was able to donate the Atlas moth to the temple, and for the first time I was allowed to meet the goddess herself, as she granted me stamina fruit. I spent the night at the ocean, as TV has announced that some rare lobster would be able to be found there, but maybe I went to the wrong depth. Day 78. So I was considering upgrading the site, but as I was harvesting the cranberries, I realized doing this manually one by one would kill me, so maybe a different tool should be considered. Weird thing is that Ben moved out of the Coral Island for some trip, so I cannot deliver to him the black mushroom that he wanted. The area behind the hot springs became accessible, and I found a super high quality bamboo shoot. When I went to the ocean to gather gold kelp, as I started to plan building more high-end sprinklers, I realized I have no clue how farming works during the winter season, and on top of it, I will most likely not finish having the greenhouse before winter. Day 79, well, I did it. I put in the upgrade for the site. I did not have resin for the watering can yet, and because it was raining that day, and the next day my goal was to get arapaima, this became a little problematic, as I ran out of kelp for the big bait, and on top of it the beach shack was closed on Tuesday. But I still managed to get that sucker. Now, not to accidentally turn it into a baked fish. Issue is, I still need like 2 more arapaimas. one for museum and one for someone's quest I got. Day 80, I kind of wonder what is wrong with me sometimes, as few days back I said how upgrading the scythe and gathering crops would suck, and lo and behold, harvest of artichokes, cranberries, and fairy roses. Well, at least I went to buy 2 quail, caught 2 arapaima, but I came to the cruel realization that the giant sea bass is apparently only able to be caught during the first week of fall only. At least that is what the wiki is telling me. So I went and donated one of the arapaimas to the museum, and by doing so, marking the 200th item officially donated. Day 81, I made a little hiccup. Well, okay, maybe it's not so big, but I will let you decide. So I did not want to collect the crops without the scythe, so I went to grab it, and because I wanted a lot of ore for some of the fancy research blueprints at the lab, I decided to go into the mines. There I got a little carried away, as once the opal ring started to warm up and I started to collect lots of fossils, I forgot to harvest the crops as I was running for my life to make it back home, and because I spent the whole day inside the mines, I did not celebrate Dippa's and Soraya's birthday. Day 82, I made sure to celebrate Sunny's birthday, and while I was at the shack, I gave Jim the arapaima because it was making my backpack all slimy. I cracked open all those 28 fossils, and I think the velociraptor should be done, and I got a lot of triceratops pieces, mostly feet. I ventured into the village of giants and enchanted few things, and then I went to the ocean to gather kelp and clear out more of the garbage. Day 83 was raining, and so thinking that since the next day is Sunday and also a festival which I never attend before, I decided to put in the upgrade for the watering can, as I honestly had zero ideas how farming works during winter. I know there are some seeds I got as a reward from the museum, but will I be able to buy some from Sam? Can I use mixed seeds during winter? These are the questions I was asking myself at the bottom of the ocean as I continued to heal the coral, but I got to say, going through the third region is so chaotic compared to the bronze and silver kelp regions. Day 84 was the final day of fall and another festival. This one I was attending for the first time, so I had no clue what is waiting for me, but one thing kind of ruined my plans as I wanted to see Dr. Ling and get the upgrade for the hay, but unfortunately the town was closed off in order for the preparations to happen. I had to therefore go to the ocean, and there I kind of screwed up, and I tried to make up for my mistake of not conserving as much of the hay for the animals, as they will probably eat through my reserves quite quickly. But the event was fun, as I once again spoke to everyone. I discovered some eyes which helped me unlock a chest in the center of the town, and I obtained pink diamond. I barely won beating of these skeletons, but honestly the hoop game was too tricky despite a lot of practice, and the reward was not appealing at all as the ranks I had were much better. Day 85, winter. Well, this started by me trying to rearrange the scarecrows and the sprinklers. What a mess that is going to be. I went to pick up the watering can and cracked open few geodes. I put in the request for the upgrade for hay and also of course cracked few fossils. Sam proved to disappoint me as he had no winter seeds. Maybe I need to upgrade the city rank again, I'm not sure. This is going to be a challenging season, especially because I did find out that the grass does not grow during the winter, and I don't think I should let the animals outside. Day 86 was nothing but complicated because I had way too many goals and they were all over the place. So first of all, Raj kind of made me mad, not because it's his birthday, but because everything he loves, he sells out of his coffee shop, but on Tuesday his coffee shop is closed, and so he got tulip instead. The other complicated thing was trying to figure out how and where to catch either a sturgeon or yellowfin tuna. Look, I know I won't finish all the bundles, but when you have a fish that needs a day when it snows, and also it needs to be nighttime, it's going to get really tricky. In order to accomplish this, especially if those two are required for specific altar offerings, and I also need one of each for the museum. Day 87. So I had few things I wanted to do, but it got all really complicated because when I wanted to celebrate Millie's birthday, Mark first managed to poison the dog he rescued by giving her some vegan food. Scott then broke Millie's library computer, and it was only all of these things after which I was able to finally give her some sugar in a cane. I went to the mines where I wanted to catch few fish in the wind mines, but apparently this thing called silver arowana is there only during the morning. But hey, I got my pink snapper and I found out if you put sugarcane into cheese press, you get syrup? I have to test that out. Also, you can get salted eggs by putting them into preserve jars. When I finally adopted a puppy and gave him a name Teddy, I went a little creative with it because all my other animals are usually named cow 1, chicken 2, and so on. Day 88. Okay, I hope I remember everything I did because there is a lot of it. Teddy was brought to my home and now I have a guard dog. Also, Charlie and Charles, or Dr. Charles, had his birthday, and of course when I showed up, he was giving Sunny his colonoscopy or prostate exam, and I just showed up and started cracking jokes about how the doctor skips to, I guess, the third base. Then Yuri did something with a pen which was not hers, and Luke was fine with it. Sure, he's okay with it, but when I want to give ladies my golden pen, pepper spray is usually involved. I put in the request for osmium seed quality with Doc Link, and then I went fishing where I got the sheep head fish. Then I was using the wiki to make these elaborate dishes like vegan tacos. Okay, maybe not the best example, but I was getting things done for those difficult bundles, and town has reached rank C, so I can get things like lemons, hopefully because they are needed for pad thai, which is one of those fancy recipes. Day 89, I went to Sam's shop and I got a little mad when I saw that almonds need a whole season to grow. This was the same for apples and olives, so that made me wonder if majority of the crops that you get during winter, which are mostly fruit trees, you can plant and then you have to wait those 28 days, and only when the season comes you can start harvesting. Wiki claims that is true, so I will need to test that theory. Unfortunately for me, by the time I dealt with all this work, the ranch was closed, so I could not get my bacon and those beef foals. Issue with the pigs, I'm sure, will be that they cannot get truffles inside of the barn. Day 90. So I had few things to do, and well, it was a fun day. I was able to go to the mines and get that silver fish I needed for the temple. Unfortunately, combined with the time at the farm, I arrived at the Sanchez's blacksmith at 14:10 and they work only until 2 p.m. So that was awkward as hell. But okay, I went to Sam's and I bought like a lot of trees that grow a whole season. In fact, I'm missing one and my OCD is slightly kicking in. I also placed flies into the bug house that I received in my mailbox. Don't ask me how they crammed it in there, I have no clue. Anyhow, I will need to get to the ocean ASAP as I do not have silver kelp and I want to see if I will be able to reach the osmium kelp depth. Day 91 was another productive day, or at least that is what I'm hoping for. I was able to purchase my 2 bacons and those super expensive birds. I realized I did not have room left for llamas or alpacas, but those need town of rank B and there's no chance I'm getting there. I cracked few fossils and donated more things to the museum, and of course I also purchased that 1 olive tree. I went to the ocean and worked in a little unusual way, but it did help me as I cleared the silver kelp depth, and from there I went to the merfolk town and I transported myself back to the museum and then went diving again to the spot from the pier a second time, which allowed me to clear 2 more shrines and by doing so liberating this sea dragon. So I guess next stop is the osmium kelp city. I'm actually thinking site upgrade would be worth it. Day 92 is truly unique to the game as 3 people celebrate their birthday. However, for some reason, only Waku is on the picture with his sourpuss. So my objective was clear. Give them their gifts and also make the game much more tricky, as I kind of put in the upgrade for the fishing rod but also the upgrade for the site at the same time, and the upgrade alone takes 4 days to reach osmium quality. You got to be kidding me, right? But at least Erica and Zoe were together at the school and Waku got vegan tacos. I would look this sour if I would get to eat that too, but whatever. Then the evening was spent with me and my sour face looking at the aging barrel as it did not want to give me my sour kimchi for the bundle. I mean, come on. Day 93, the kimchi is still not done, so I decided to go check on my fishing rod, and you would think that after so many goddamn days, I would know that on Tuesday, they don't work, but oh well. It's in the name of the channel. Anyhow, I decided to try something risky and I went to the ocean and used the vortex bomb. This allowed me to even harvest some osmium kelp, but in return it made me burn through my whole glass reserve. Well, at least I found a bunch of new species to donate. Day 94 was again the day when it was snowing, so you can pretty much guess where this is headed. But because I knew that yellowtail and sturgeon are caught at night, I decided to first go pick up my fishing rod. I'm also happy to report that releasing my bacons during the winter has yielded black truffles, and I'm quite sure I won't get them happy enough to find me a white one to finish off that rare artisanal bundle. Anyhow, I spent most of the day in the mines, and at night I was fishing, but I had terrible luck, so I tried a brand new location by Frank's Bistro, and that yielded some surprising result as I pulled out a swordfish. Unfortunately, no yellowtail tuna, but I could not help myself and cast my bait at the river on my farm, and that sturgeon got caught. Oh, and Noah had his birthday, so I made him some gnocchi. Day 95, I had so many interruptions during the recording, I had to rewatch the 1-hour footage from which 40 minutes were just pause screen, so I won't forget everything. So I had to harvest the cocoa, and I wanted to share this, and so I made the chocolate chip muffins, cookies, and hot cocoa, and coincidentally most of the people who I wanted to share this with were in the town or close to Frank's place of business. Problem was when Waku had issue with his dad being proud of the girls running the restaurant at the beach, and I've just realized that I have been probably calling him the wrong name this whole time. I guess it's because of all those vegan tacos or something. Then I ran into Scott as we went to fetch Lily so he can fix that computer he broke in the library. Only after that I was able to hand out the chocolate goodies. I went into the mines as I had my eye set on the computer, but I have no idea how I will fetch 100 scrap pieces without the scythe. Day 96. I got my hands on the scythe finally, and on my way to the farm, I saw the kids making fun of Dr. Charles. So I helped him out. I figured it's not good to have him angry at me while he is the only person who's gonna be giving me my prostate exam. Anyhow, after I made it to the ocean, I was making decent progress by clearing out a few shrines. I unfortunately discovered that the starfish I was missing for one of the bundles only appears during spring and summertime. Day 97 could have soundtrack from Coldplay. I think the song is called Yellow. Reason why? Well, Betty had a birthday, so she got a daffodil. I followed this by visit to the ocean where I harvested gold or yellow kelp, and because it was snowing again, I tried to catch the yellowfin tuna, but all I was getting were yellowtail fish. Day 98, well, every farmer needs a great PC to help run his business, and I'm not talking about those overpriced MacBooks Pros, no. I'm talking about the tower with the NVIDIA 4090, which explains why it needs 10 batteries, and I had to sell a kidney and part of a liver to afford it. This amazing machine runs Minesweeper with RTX on 4K resolution in like 1000 FPS or something. But you can also order items from the shop. One thing which is not great is that there are no specialized sorting, so it's all grouped up together. This allowed me to get to the clothes that I needed for the giants, and we had fun interaction with the mayor as he called them handsome. I also crafted the 3rd tier sprinkler, and god damn, this thing is impressive. Day 99. When life gives you lemons, but you do some Google magic and you find out that lemons are not natural fruit, but a hybrid of mixing male citron and female sour orange, what do you do afterwards? Well, I was sad, so I decided to cook up some pad thai to finish another bundle. This gave me another fancy achievement for cooking up 15 recipes. I also purchased M.2 SSD, which allowed me to see what fish are where during what time of the day. This allowed me to catch the giant mudskipper at the weirdest place ever, a rice paddy field. But 250 items are officially donated to the museum. I spent the evening at the bottom of the ocean clearing out the school place with like plesiosaurus or mosasaurus skeleton in the sand. Oh yeah, and I did put in the upgrade for the bug net, and instantly I ran into some things I have never seen before, which I could not catch again. Day 100 was amazing day indeed. Now normally I cut it off at this point, but I really had such a blast with the game, I just wanted to finish this year. If you want to see the example of my first 100 days in a video game, I did one for Stardew Valley and I also did Dinkum. I just realized most of the 100 days on my channel are for V-Rising, but I'm getting away from the point that I'm trying to make. So Emily was celebrating her birthday, and so I made her some special vegan dish. At least I think it's vegan. It has honey in it. But the more amazing thing happened at night thanks to completion of a bundle which unlocks brand new region for me. It had like an excavation camp where I found in a small place over 12 fossils. I then ventured even deeper, stumbling into like woods made out of mahogany and some other tree which were all dropping 20 hardwood each. Finally, I had so much hardwood, I got email from Viagra to stop using the word. I found some massive orangutan, and in the evening I went to the ocean where I found the king scallop, so officially the whole crop altar is done and I should get access to the greenhouse. The only thing which made me freak the hell out is that the upcoming festival takes place at the beach during evening, and so I do not know if the beach shack will be closed during the whole event, which could theoretically mean that I won't be able to retrieve my bug net for the following XYZ amount of days. Day 101. The festival is here and I truly appreciate that it does not lock off the beach shack and I was able to go pick up my golden bug net. I also managed to get few geodes, cracks and fossils as well. Unfortunately, I realized I did not have enough osmium ore ingots, and same goes for gold and other metals which I will need to get. But I went to the festival and I talked to everyone, and thanks to being able to repeat multiple events from trivia, where they really like to show off all the fish and relics you have not yet donated to the museum or to the temple, to the curling or magnet fishing or shooting targets, and this weird mini game of replicating the hoed soil. I was able to earn like 500 merit points, getting me over to the 2000, so I can purchase that stamina fruit at the mayor's town hall. Day 102. So I was not sure how the winter market or fair would work in the following days, and I did consider upgrading the other tools, but with 4 days of waiting time, there was just no need for it. The gold star quality tools were actually decent enough. This meant that I had one decision to make: go to the mines or continue in the ocean, and I opted for the ocean and cleared out the entire north part of the deep waters. Problem was that because there were so many pieces of trash, I did come across many forageables or kelp, but when I went to check out the festival, I realized I would not be able to win any new prizes and the offers from the shop remained the same. Day 103. Well, because I finally learned that on Saturday lab is closed, I had a goal that Friday. The goal to go grab as much hardwood in the morning as I could, and I put in the request to research the ultimate scarecrow, which covers area 19 times 19. I cracked few fossils, few geodes and coffers, found out I can donate like 1 bone from all of it, and then I rushed into the mines to get some more osmium ore and gold ore. The mines were not that impressive, almost like the calendar which barely shows that Lily has birthday. So I made her pancakes, and apparently for omurice I need ketchup, and I did not think that putting a tomato into a blender would get the job done. And also I realized I'm all out of tomatoes. But I was able to do something unique that day. I was able to sell aged sake, aged cheese wheel, kombucha, fairy rose mead, and I also found out that aged barley beer is more valuable than aged beer. Day 104, so I started to run into fun problem to have, and that was lack of crops to put into the preserve jars and the kegs. But I definitely knew I had to work on the ocean cleansing, and so I did, yet somehow I misplaced my bug net and you cannot go diving without it. So when I came across God knows what, I had to go back and use the teleportation to go through the town, where Karen from Pufferfish pulled the biggest Karen move ever. She announced her candidacy to run for the mayor of the town. I then continued to clear the ocean floor, and I did not even participate in the festival. I think if they would make it so that during one day you can participate in one of the events, and if you fail then you can only try on the other day, it would make it more engaging for me. But who knows where the game will head with the following updates. Day 105 was another major milestone because it was not only the last day of the festival, but I managed to clear out the last sick coral and thus healed the tree in the merfolk village. Now to somehow heal the roots at the surface level. I also wonder if Doc Ling will have something to give me as a possible reward, but who knows. What the merfolk are planning with me, as they need to discuss me for some reason. Day 106. I received mail somehow from King Krakatoa himself about a ceremony at the royal palace. How did they manage to put the letter into my mailbox? I do not know. How come it was not soaking wet? I do not know. But I went and received a special medallion that granted me access to their kingdom. I was hoping I would somehow be able to start finally talking to all these sea critters I was liberating, but apparently no. I still don't know if they will make more changes to these turtle, sharks, and all the other species. Then at night, I somehow, through my breathing apparatus, was able to blow a horn under the water and remove those pesky dark roots even from the surface, or so I'm told. I was actually quite unhappy that despite clearing all the nonsense from the ocean rank was still just B. But I guess after all this ocean ranked up the town and it reached B rank. Now I can consider getting the second barn for the llamas and that weird ferret that poops out coffee. Yeah, they have those in Coral Island. Oh yeah, and I also reached 1 million in profit. Day 107. I looked over some of the easier achievements and I realized I was not shipping animal products at all, so I put into the bin 2 eggs and 2 milk types, and a piece of wool. How am I going to ship 1000 milk, however? I do not know. What I know is that I need more copper bars for the second barn. So I used the architect desk I got from the Giants to rearrange few things, creating hopefully enough space for the second barn. I let the animals out as I was not sure if those peacocks drop feathers only outside. I was even considering using the shears, but it did not do it, so yeah, that sucks. I spent the day at the mines, and fun thing happened as I stayed out past curfew and got to the bed at like 1:40 a.m. and I still did not manage to collapse. Day 108, it was one of those days when the heavy snow rolled in, and with that I knew I have to redeem myself because my catch altar was looking quite desolate. I went to the carpenter shop where Archie and his mom were still taking care of some injured bird, yet after the scene, that kid was gone. I guess he does not want his birthday burrito. I put in the order for the second barn and oh my god, it fits!
How long have you known Ms. Levinson?
6 years and 2 months.
And you were directly under her the entire time?
That's what she said.
Then gave gift to Nina and went fishing. First catch and bam! A yellowfin tuna. I was able to catch one more, so both altar and museum got donation, and at night I caught osmium quality sturgeon. Again, first cast, kind of like the cast of Game of Thrones where Ava was apparently invited. Day 109. Nina showed up and talked about how she's glad I moved in with my grandparents' farm and what are my plans. Seriously, I gave her one birthday gift and all I get is interrogation. We also got to talk about the science behind the merfolk somehow, giving me a letter into the mailbox. So I went to see Doc Ling to get more Pentium chips into the computer so I know what to forage for and what bugs I can catch. And then I went to see the Oracle who told me she found a scroll that can possibly turn landfolk into merfolk, but she needs more time for deciphering the scroll. Day 110. I got a little upset and I went to the ranch and I was told that I cannot purchase the llamas or the coffee pooping thing, and each one costs 30,000. And apparently the reason why I cannot get them is that the basic barn does not come with Wi-Fi. So I had to go to the carpenter shop to request the upgrade, and I had to go diving as apparently the Oracle has discovered that I need 5 osmium quality crops and 5 osmium kelp essence. Man, I hope she will be okay with me giving her 5 osmium basil. Day 111. So this was a busy day because I had not only celebrated birthday of 2 people, but I also was able to drop off the requested item to the Oracle and also did some interior redecorating. Now when I went to wish the happy birthday to Alice and Suki, I came across a strange realization because apparently Valentina is Suki's daughter whom she had with Pablo. The thing is, however, that you can date both Suki and Pablo. So would that mean that if I would to want to marry Suki, Valentina would move in with us? What is the target audience for the game? I'm sorry, this is just a little weird for me. Anyhow, I went to see the Oracle with 5 osmium kelp and the 5 osmium crops and that magical tree sap, and now the new Walt Disney mermaid is here. You can actually choose if you want to keep the legs or have some sort of shark tail, kind of like this one. Ah, this is kind of nice. Oh yeah, and I did some decoration and I still cannot believe everything for one room in the furniture store costs you over 30,000. Day 112 was the final day of the year and I was invited for the New Year celebration, so I decided to go out with a bang. Same like pyrotechnics that night as I went and spent over 120 grand on some animals. Well, at least you get 2 llamas for the 30,000, but those coffee pooping ferrets, each one costs 30,000. I got 2 more pigs and 2 more cows. I went to the mines for the last time and I had luck with like 3 osmium ore veins on one floor. I donated my final item to the museum and then went to celebrate with everyone. My advice is practice more the don't drop balloon even because Bree smoked my ass. But yeah, that's going to be it for a year in Coral Island. I still did not discover some relics, donated all the 300 items to the museum, or finish all the bundles for the goddess, but that is the beauty of it. By reaching town rank of B, I would be able to start the brand new year with so many new crops. I would be able to use the greenhouse and much more. But how did your first year in Coral Island go? Let me know and I will be more than happy to read about it in the comments, and also check out the channel for other content as I'm most likely trying to make few more of these videos, but it will take a month or so. And with that, I will wish you a best of luck into the new year and hopefully I will see you in the future uploads or in the comment section.